All right, let's go to AG in California who wants to talk about the UFO thing. AG, welcome to the show. What say you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Josh. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful. I woke up, so I'm off to a good start.
Yeah, that's a good way to start, right?
Amen.
So, I was listening, and I heard the fellow caller, fellow listener that called in, was talking about the fallen angels and not believing any of it. And I started pretty much yelling at my radio. So I'm like, okay, I need to call
I love that. That's called great talk radio.
Exactly. And, I used to suffer from what's called sleep paralysis. I'm sure you've heard of that, where you kind of like wake up and you can't move. And I started looking into that, and lo and behold, I found out, just kind of studying, that was something to do with evil and demonic entities. And me being a Jesus follower, I was told to call Jesus, just call his name. I kind of was hesitant, I didn't believe it, but I'm like, I'll try it. Lo and behold, that worked. Doing more research, I found out that alien abductions, actually, people that get abducted, they call to Jesus. Non-believers also, that happens to them, it goes away. Whether they are in a spaceship, wherever they think they are, whatever happens, it goes away. There's videos on YouTube, there's things all over the place. So people that don't believe that these aliens are evil beings, evil spirits, whatever they think they are, they just call to Jesus and it goes away. So try to prove that one wrong. So I don't know, to that caller, you need to look some more stuff up. There's a video also called Age of Deceit that's going around, and a lot of people need to see that if they don't believe in that. And that talks about fallen angels, and that is pretty dang amazing. So that's my 2 cents worth there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think it's interesting, too, because I have heard of those night terrors or that sleep paralysis. It's never happened to me, thankfully. But I have heard of that, and the people who've experienced exactly, they say it's just total panic or fear or whatever. Was there an age that started with you? Because now you have me curious.
You know what? It was like in my early teen years, like in middle school type. And what's really weird, Josh, is when I would go, it would happen to me like right when I was going to sleep, like right when I was in the point when you're about to fall asleep. And it was a sense, like all my senses were heightened to the point like I would be in my bedroom, but I could hear everything that was happening in my house. It was a bizarre feeling. Like I could hear people talking in my living room. I could smell what was happening in the kitchen, yet I was in my room and the door was closed. It was a bizarre feeling, like everything was heightened. And I would start shaking, and I would be like, oh, my God, what's happening? After a while, because this would happen for years, after a while, I knew what was happening, and I would just kind of write it out. But, my heart would start pounding. I mean, it would be horrible, and I couldn't do anything about it. I'd have to sit there and suffer through it. And then finally, when I started telling people about it, and, they told me, call to God, it'll end. I finally did it, and the one time I did it, it just stopped. It was just like, oh, wow, that easy. And it's like, amen, what is this? It's just, it goes away. You just call him that one word, his name, takes it all away.
So how long would it last? I mean, before you started, saying a little prayer to get rid of it or whatever, how long would it last normally?
Oh, my. Well, it wasn't very long. I mean, it could last from 10 seconds to, maybe a minute. The longest I probably was ever, I guess, kind of like what I said, stuck in it was maybe about, a minute and a half, and that was it. And basically your eyes are open, you're just kind of looking around, and you can't move. You're just sitting there, and you're hearing everything, and you just get this complete feeling of terror, of like you're not even sure what you're scared of. But you're just scared, your heart is pounding, you can hear everything, and you can feel everything like 100 times normal than usual. Everything's just terrifying, and for no reason. I never really saw anything like aliens or anything scary, but I just felt like doom and terror, like something horrible was about to happen. So,
what's interesting is there is a weird connection between people who are reportedly abducted and the occult or, sort of satanic whatever practice in their life. I mean, a lot of alien abductee people have been, recently to seances, or they played with Ouija boards or whatever. And what was interesting when I was talking to the psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever he was, was how many times that's not reported in the, when the History Channel does like a UFO, thing. They don't tell you the fact that a lot of these people were dabbling in the occult a week before.
Yeah, you just see you opened up a skeleton in my closet. When I was little, I used to actually play with Ouija boards. I had a cousin in South America that liked to do like the metaphysical stuff, and she used to have Ouija boards, so we used to play with it. And she had tarot cards, and she used to be Wiccan, I believe, and so she would do spells and that kind of stuff. So I believe that opened me up, as they say, kind of opened up that pathway to these things. So it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because that's what I believe opened my, me up to these evil things that might have happened to me, and that's what started that up. And that was kind of like the time, maybe in middle school, when I had visited my relatives down in South America. So it's all connected, very much so.
Well, that's a little scary.
Isn't
That's
that
a
weird?
little scary.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, man. Yeah.
Hey, no. All right, Josh, you take care, man. God bless you, man.
Thanks. You too. You too.